Hello everyone, myself Brindra, your chemistry teacher, and today I am in front of you with a new chapter of class 8th NCERT, that is combustion and flame. And the topic that I am going to teach you today is how do we control fire. Okay. So before coming to the topic, there are so many questions that arises in your mind. First question, we can say what is the type of fire? If I am talking about the fire, then we can say everyone in the life, maybe live or through your these books or through this television, you must have seen buildings on fire, you must have seen shops on fire, factories on fire, forest on fire. So these are different types of fire. Now what happens? Suppose this incident comes, buildings comes on fire, shop is on fire, or factories, forest, because of any reason. Okay, the reason can be anything. So what we do? Immediately, what the people do? They call fire brigade. Everyone have seen the fire brigade. Now what fire brigade do? Immediately fire brigade comes and they start pouring water on the place where, if it is building, they started pouring water on the building, or if it is shop or factories. Okay, forest fire is very dangerous. So it can't be controlled with the help of the fire brigade. Okay. So what they do? They start pouring water on the fire. So what happens? As soon, immediately, as soon as they start pouring water on the fire, so sometime what happens? It takes so many hours. If the fire is very dangerous, so it will take lot of time. Okay, so many fire brigades they have to call for this purpose. Okay. So what happens now? Pouring water. When fire brigade are pouring water, so what is happening? First thing that water do, that is the water cools down the temperature of the combustible substance. If a building is on fire, so the whole building is combustible. Each and every material kept in the building catch fire. So what this water do? It cools down the temperature of the combustible substance. And when it cools down the temperature, then what happens? Its ignition temperature comes down. Now what is ignition temperature? Ignition temperature, we can say that this is the temperature at which, this is the lowest temperature at which any combustible substance catches fire. So if ignition temperature is coming down, so what will happen? These combustible substance will not burn. They will stop burning. And when this ignition temperature is coming down, so what will happen? The fire will stop from spreading. And when fire will stop spreading, then what will happen? Water vapor will surround because there is enough heat is there, and whatever water fire brigade is pouring, that is converting into water vapors, and all this water vapor will work as a blanket. They will cover the supply of the oxygen. Okay, and what will happen? After some time, fire will extinguish. So these are the steps which happens when some building or factory or shop catches fire, and we call the fire brigade. Now according to this, now what we see, that what are the essential requirements for combustion? Okay, we have seen that combustion takes place only if fuel or combustible substance is present. So this is the first necessity for combustion, that fuel or combustible substance must be present there. Second important thing, that the supply of oxygen is very important. Air is very important, and in air especially oxygen should be there. And third essential thing is heat. Means the combustible substance is there, oxygen is there, but if there is no heat, then what will happen? This fuel or the combustible substance will not acquire its ignition temperature, and without acquiring ignition temperature, it cannot burn. So these are three essential requirements for combustion: fuel, or we can say combustible substance, we can say oxygen, supply of oxygen, and third thing we can say heat, to get the ignition temperature of a combustible substance. Now how do we control fire? Now the question arises that how do we control fire? This is one method I have told you. Now see here, we can see that when the thing burns or catches fire, it can be of two types. One is wood and paper. So if building is on fire or wood and papers we are burning, so the appropriate thing that we use is water. Okay, the thing which fire brigade is using, they are using water. Now why this water is important? See here, because this water I have already mentioned here, because these are the things that water is doing. Water is cooling down the temperature of the combustible substance and bringing down the ignition temperature. So to extinguish fire for wood and paper, water is sufficient. Okay, but if electrical equipments or inflammable materials like oil or petrol, diesel, they are on fire, then water is not suitable. Why water is not suitable? Because we know that water is heavy. So if you are pouring water on electrical equipments or oil and petrol, so what will happen? This water being heavy, it will go down, and oil being lighter will keep burning. So fire will not extinguish because water is heavy, so it will go down, and oil or this petrol is light, so it will keep burning. So, and second thing, that is water is good conductor of electricity. So what will happen? If we are using water for electrical equipments, we can have shock. Okay, it can harm the person who is using water to extinguish fire. So these are the two reasons which shows that electrical equipments and inflammable substances cannot be extinguished with the help of water, because it is not helpful. Now what we will do? If water is not suitable, so what to do now? How we can extinguish the fire of electrical equipments or inflammable substances like oil and petrol? Here we use, best is carbon dioxide. Okay, neither water is not suitable, but carbon dioxide is suitable. Now why it is suitable? Now we can ask the reason. Okay, what is the reason that carbon dioxide is suitable for extinguishing fire for electrical equipments or inflammable materials? Okay, the reason is because now oxygen is, here we have seen that water is heavy than oil, so it is going down, but here we are seeing carbon dioxide is heavy. Okay, this is heavy than, so what will happen? It is heavy than oxygen. So being heavy, okay, what will happen? It will remain down. Okay, and so it will form a blanket around the combustible substance, and after some time what will happen? The fire will extinguish. Now the question comes, what are the source from where we are getting this carbon dioxide? From where we will get the carbon dioxide? Water we can get easily, we can have a water tank, but how we can get carbon dioxide? So you must have seen liquid cylinders, okay, in the hospitals, in the schools, in the laboratory, okay, everywhere you have seen this small or large size of cylinders in which carbon dioxide is kept, and this carbon dioxide is stored by applying high pressure. Under high pressure and low temperature, carbon dioxide is inserted inside these cylinders, and now this, because of this high pressure, gaseous carbon dioxide converts into liquid form, and when we open the cylinder, immediately the carbon dioxide comes out and occupy larger volume and make the cloud of carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide extinguishes the fire. And second thing, we can get it in the powder form also. Powder form we can get it from baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, and second is from potassium bicarbonate, because sodium bicarbonate is also providing carbon dioxide. You can see here, this is sodium, baking soda, sodium bicarbonate. Okay, so this breaks into sodium carbonate and plus CO2 and plus H2. Okay, so in this way, similarly potassium bicarbonate, because any chemical compound which is containing carbonate can give us carbon dioxide. So this is the way how we can extinguish fire. Okay, how do we control fire? That's all.